What's up, guys? John here, Titan Talk Tuesday. It's always a good day on Tuesdays. I'm glad to be here. Thank God. It's another day on this earth, so I'm real happy. And you know what? Tomorrow's Wednesday. It's hump day, so we're almost halfway through the week. I always say that. So God bless that for sure. So I'm waiting for everybody to join in real quick so I can get everybody in and so we can talk about what's going on this week. And obviously the first topic we're going to talk about when everybody starts joining in is BPC 157. And I get a lot of questions about BPC 157 all the time. So we're going to go over some of those questions. And if you guys got some other questions for me, I'm going to have you guys shout out. And I'll answer them live for you guys, man. So give me 1 second about coming in here. Let me see what's going on. All right. So what's going on? All right, let me see this screen real quick, Art, because I can't get on mine.
All right, no worries. We got you up here.
All right, so Brendan, what's going on? Marcus, Doug Jones, Giovanni, what's going on? Oswaldo, how you doing? Tonio McClendon, what's up, dude? How you doing? Nelson Morales, Bob, how you doing? Mikey, what's going on? Big Irishman, keep the Titan in the Hulk squad. Leslie, what's going on? How you doing? Brad, Justin Cook, Elizabeth Collins, Daniel Hitchcock, Get Body Right LLC. What's going on? Dan, what's up, dude? All right, my man, Big Irishman in the house. Chris Forner, James, what's going on? How you guys doing? We're all in here. Austin Owens. Man, there's so many people. So thank you guys for all joining me. Got a great show for you guys. I promise every week is awesome. I try to bring you guys great topics. And obviously I want to answer all your questions about what we do here at Titan Medical Center. So what up, Rena? How you doing? Walker Justin, what's going on? Manuel, how you doing? So, every week we go over Titan Talk. And Titan Talk has to deal with the therapy of the week. I want to do some topics, that I think are interesting, involving in health, lifestyle, and fitness maybe. But usually it has to do with science or health. Because I want this talk to be, really incorporated in that. Titan Lifestyle with Big Drew on Friday. We can talk about all different types of things. So I want to really be really beneficial, answer you guys' questions. So the hoodie, we will be announcing that via the story today. I don't even know who won yet. Sharice is picking. Rachel Daniels is the best. I love her. Yes, she's awesome. Paul, what's going on? Carlos, how you doing? Dre Morales, how you doing? Walker Justin, I love Titan Medical. Thank you so much. Thank you. We appreciate all our support out there, our patients out there. You guys are all family. Thank you guys. And like I said, thank you guys for tuning into this. So, let's talk about the first thing, okay? What we do at Titan Medical Center, because I get the question all the time, even from patients sometimes. They don't know about all the different things that we offer here. So let's just go over them real quick, I promise, and then we'll get into BPC 157, the healing peptide, which I love. All right, so what we do here at Titan Medical Center, we service nationwide in hormone replacement therapy for males and females, medical weight loss therapies and options, rejuvenation detox, libido enhancers for both males and females. We also offer peptides. So like we're going to talk about today, BPC 157, which is a healing peptide, or weight loss peptides like AOD 9604, other peptides like growth hormone releasing hormone peptides like CJC 1295 and Perellin. We also do blood work nationwide. So if you think you might have something going on inside, hormones, you want to do STD testing, food sensitivity testing, test for amino acid levels just to make sure they're higher where they're at. All these different things we can help you guys out with. And it's real simple to do. The first step is to call or text 727-389-3220. Now, for therapies, the only therapies that require blood work, because that's another misconception. People think they need blood work for all our therapies. That's not true. The only therapies that you need blood work for are the hormone therapies. So testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, IGF-1, those are going to be the first thing you're going to need to do is do a blood test, okay? For Hercules Potion, Titan Complete, the peptides like BPC 157 or AOD 9604 or all these different things that we offer, ECAs, you do not need blood work. The only thing you need to do for those therapies is fill out the new patient paperwork, which you can go to our website and get right there and fill it out online, right on your phone, tablet, or computer. At that point, you're going to see the medical provider. So for all our different therapies, they all are prescribed. That means you're going to see a medical provider beforehand. Now, don't worry. If you're not here in the state of Florida and you can't come in the office, we do service the nation by telemedicine. So at that point, you can be in the comfort of your own home, your car, lunch break, office, wherever it is. And just, you're going to have the consultation with the medical provider, like I said, via your phone, your tablet, or your computer. And then after that, it's real simple. You pay for your therapy packages, and they get shipped directly from the U.S. licensed pharmacies to your doorstep. It's that simple and easy. And then we're here for you guys all the time, every day for your support. If you don't know how to do an injection, you got a question, you got a problem, a concern, we're here for you guys with medical staff here all the time. All right? So you guys do tests for STDs? Yes. So STD testing can be done through blood nowadays, so it's really, really cool. So if there's something you guys need, maybe somebody happened, you had a one-night stand, who knows? I mean, some things happen, or a partner or something, or you just want to check to make sure you're good. You can definitely do that, all right? All right, so let's get into the first topic of the day. BPC 157, healing peptide. An awesome peptide, right? BPC stands for body protection compound. It's an awesome peptide, and it comes from the gastric juices in your own body, right? So that's where they isolate that from. Now, BPC 157 can be used for a number of different things or ailments. So let's talk about them. So the first one, obviously, because it gets isolated from the gastric juices in your body. It's good for intestine issues. So if you're having ulcers, IBS, you're having bowel problems, this can be hopefully a good remedy for you. Even Crohn's, that was another big one out there. Glutathione and BPC 157 are usually really good for Crohn's. So that's just some of the different things in the stomach area. Now, when we talk about ligaments, joints, tendons, muscles, right? Inflammation in the body. This is what BPC really is great for. And I'll vouch for it all day because I use it. And right now I've been using it for like the last month and a half. I have a slap tear and, it's March already. I don't think I'm going to be able to get surgery, which I need. So I'm trying to do the next best thing, excuse me. And that's trying to see if high doses of BPC 157 can actually help me heal this thing without surgery. And it's a long shot, right? But I know this. When I do take BPC 157, and I've taken it before in the past for tennis elbow and golf elbow, and it helps tremendously there. And I healed very, very quick by doing this. In the first round when I did BPC 157, this is years ago when it first came from the pharmacy, we were able to prescribe it to patients. I literally had golf elbow, tennis elbow, and had a shoulder issue, but the golf elbow and tennis elbow were debilitating. At that point, I couldn't do pull downs, I couldn't do triceps, I couldn't do biceps. I mean, it sucked. So I started on the BPC 157, and literally 3 weeks later, I was good to go. But now the slap tear in my shoulder is a lot worse than that, obviously. If you don't know what slap tear is, superior and posterior, or anterior and superior, anterior and posterior tear. That's what it is of the labrum. So at that point, I've been using it, and it's obviously been helping tremendously for me. I'm in there. I'm at least being able to do the weight that I was at before. I'm not trying to go 100% of what I max out on, but I'm at like 80% right now, which is a God's gift to me. And every time I take it in the morning, it definitely helps with inflammation. I notice it right away. Within the first 5 minutes, I usually, I'm literally sore in the mornings because I might be sleeping on my shoulder. I can't sleep on my stomach because my shoulders the way they are, and I hate sleeping on my back. It's so uncomfortable for me. So I'm usually picking shoulders, and I have problems with both shoulders, and I like to sleep my right more, and that's the real problem, shoulder. It gives me a lot more pain. So when I wake up in the morning, I got to stretch it out, do that right. I inject my BPC 157. I've been using TB along with it, TB 500. And I've been feeling a lot better, and obviously my lift's been getting a lot better. So I'm trying to get in the mood. March is here, so summer's not too far away because spring breaks right now. So at that point, well, it's at least coming in a week or two down here. So trying to get ready. We got a lot of different events, so I want to make sure that I'm good to go because I like to be the example for people out there. I just want to be the product of Titan. So at that point, I got to make sure I'm in tip-top condition. and I got to make sure that I'm healthy and I'm not hurt. So BPC 157 is definitely it. Now, what up, DMK Fitness? I've been loving those stories, man. All right, so when I've been using BPC 157 and the way that it really, really works is, what up, Sandra Tampa? How you doing? John Lewis? All right, the way that it works is Antonio's in the house. Oh, man, everybody's in here. So the way that it works really is it works by creating new blood vessels, right? And BPC 157 is a little bit different from TB 500 in that you want to inject it closest to the area of the injury, right? Even if you're having surgery, it helps for faster wound healing. So if you have this surgery, you have this cut, like, you know, I know Dwayne's got surgery tomorrow. Good luck. We are here for you, and you're in our prayers. So hopefully,
today, actually.
Oh, wow, you had it today. So
Yep.
I'm glad you're out and recovered, at least a little bit out of the surgery 7 minutes ago. Wow. So hopefully everything went all right. The BPC should be coming in. Hopefully for Dwayne, he's going to be using it for his recovery from his surgery, which is another big one that a lot of people do. People have surgeries. They want to recover faster. They want to heal faster. BPC 157 is great for that, along with TB2 as well, TB 500. I know Cody Maddox had back surgery as of lately. He used BPCs, had great results from it. Our nurse practitioner, Chanel, she has back issues. She uses BPC 157. So it's just a really good one. But anyway, it creates more blood vessels, creates new blood vessels, and blood flow to the area to actually help it heal. So that's actually the way it works. I mean, it's an awesome peptide. Like I said, if you really want to go for the big combo and you really want to try to secure as much healing as you possibly can naturally, BPC 157, TB 500 are going to be your good combination there. If you always want to throw something on top of it, if you're able to, IGF-1's another big one too as well. So these are just some of the different things that we offer here at Titan Medical Center. And it's great because a lot of people have different issues like shoulder problems, knee problems. They have, joint issues, elbow issues. I mean, whether you're a former athlete, you're just a regular person living through life, you're going to get beat up along the way, right? We all have these maybe nagging injuries. And if we're trying to get in the gym or trying to work on fitness or activity, sometimes you might hurt yourself. And it might not be, something you try to do. You didn't try to go heavy, but, just sometimes when you lift or some things happen and we get hurt, Obviously, we don't plan to get hurt, but after that is listen, the older that we get, the harder it is for us to recover, repair, and the slower it happens usually. So we really want to give ourselves the best weapons possible, right, to fight these issues and help you heal faster. And like I said, BPC 157 is just a really good healing peptide. I know it's out there and it's across the net now, and you can read up upon it in a lot of different studies, forums. It's out there, and it's a great healer. So if you guys are looking for something for healing, inflammation, you got nagging injuries, acute injuries, try BPC 157. You guys might get some serious relief on it, and it'll probably help you along the way. I know we did have Leslie in here, who she put an awesome testimonial out about BPC 157. I know she's had some shoulder issues too with the labrum, and a lot of people do. And you don't have to be a bodybuilder or a fitness freak or anything like that to have problems with labrum. I mean, that's in the shoulder area, and a lot of people do. Like my mom was into horseback riding all her life, and one horse jerked her wrong, and that tore her labrum. So there's a lot of different things out there that can affect your shoulder issues, and just along the way, the older that we get, the more wear and tear goes on, right? And then after so long, even with the slap tear, it doesn't have to be from a movement or an exercise. It can happen naturally just, from wear and tear down, and just something just one day it just pops out, or you have those issues or you have those breakdowns. So at that point, give you guys the best possible things for your body so you guys can heal faster, and you can get you can get back in the swing of things, because, it sucks being down with injuries, and I know that firsthand, because you really can't. It restricts you on the exercises or what you really want to do, and you really don't know how much it means to you until you lose it, right? So at that point, just be careful, you guys. If you're lifting hard or lifting heavy, make sure you protect yourselves and make sure you guys aren't going to go crazy. All right.
Yeah, A bunch of comments up here.
Woo! Okay, so suffered terrible hamstring tear, so changing to BPC 157. Hulk squat, I seen that. So he sent in a picture of his leg, his hamstring. It's literally purple. So we definitely got some issues in there. It definitely looks like a hamstring tear. I'm not sure though. So at that point, you might even want to get that thing looked at, as far as that, just to make sure everything's okay. But BPC 157 will hopefully help that tear a lot faster as far as recovery. You let us know, Hawk Squad, because you're in here all the time. I heard Andranko is good for fat loss. Is that true? Anadarko. What is Anadarko? Anavar. Okay. So, all right. So, Anavar, Exangelone. So, Klemter13 brought up, I heard Anavar is good for fat loss. Is that true? All right. So, let's talk about it, because I think there's a misconception out there. And I know there are some places out there prescribing or telling people that Exangelone, which is Anavar, is good for weight loss. And not really. It's not really a fat burner or a weight loss type therapy. Okay. Now, what it was originally approved by the FDA was for like burn victims or people like that were muscle wasting or. So at that point, they were losing muscle real quick. So HIV is a big one at that muscle wasting happens. There's also some other diseases out there that happens along with. But let's talk about burn victims and the reason why. So they usually give it to burn victims or that are laying in a hospital bed. And the reason they're doing this is because when you're laying in a hospital bed, for long extensive periods of time, your muscles will go through atrophy, right? And you don't want your muscles to go through atrophy. They don't want that to happen. So Exangelone or Anavar can help actually heal things a lot quicker. It also can help with muscle wasting as far as not having muscle wasting go on. It will actually keep and spare the muscle tissue in there. So I think that's where the misconception is at. It's more of a hardener, and as far as that goes, DHT type thing, where it's not really a fat loss type thing. It will make you harder, right? Muscle more dense, but as far as fat loss, I mean, it's not really going to occur with that. I mean, that's not the main thing. If I was to say to somebody, listen, I want to take Exangelone, I would say, listen, you'll probably put on more lean tissue, muscle mass. You'll definitely feel harder or look harder for sure. Now, the thing about Exangelone is it's really, really taxing on the liver and on the kidneys. It's not talked about a lot, but definitely on the liver for sure. Now, I've seen dosages from 5 milligrams to 10 milligrams, 25 milligrams, even 50 milligrams per dose. So usually, a medical dose is usually between 5, 10, maybe 20 milligrams, and that's a lot. With the doses I've seen out there, 25 or 50, that's a super amount. That's a heavy dose of these different things as far as Exangelone goes, and that could be really harsh on the liver. So if you're going to take Exangelone or Anavar, make sure you're getting some sort of liver support. Now, I'm not talking about an over-the-counter liver support. I'm talking about like injectable glutathione, injectable NAC, something that's really, really going to help with the liver. Because when the liver is stressed, right, or taxed the way it is on this, your liver filters everything through it. So everything you're putting in orally filters through the liver, right? It has to process through there. So it just adds more stress on the liver. And the more stress on the liver, the more your body is not functioning optimally, right? It's not processing things through it optimally. And that's really what you want. And you don't want to take your liver to high levels as far as stress levels for AST and ALT. If you're looking at blood tests, that's what your liver functions are. With this, if they do get real high for long extended periods of time or too high, jaundice can happen, yellowish, darkish circles underneath the eyes. That's something you really don't want to do. Now, the good thing about the liver is it does repair itself pretty good. So if you do have high levels of ALT or AST, that's liver functions, it can usually repair itself as long as you're not doing any more stress or damage to it. Now, if you're taking injectable glutathione, let's say you see your levels are real high, your ALT, AST, your liver function enzymes, if those are very high and you take injectable glutathione, it's probably going to bring them down real quick. If not half of where they're at, probably normal ranges. And people that aren't doing anything like that just have maybe a fatty liver or stuff like that, or their diet's not so good. Some of the liver enzymes can be affected by acetaminophen, alcohol. So there's different things to look for, but that's the question I want to answer about Exangelone. So I wouldn't put it number one on my list for weight loss, for fat burning. That's definitely not my first choice. My first choice is probably going to be the ECA Stack Plus. I'm just being honest, and that goes for anything. Even if I didn't own Titan Medical Center, and I had to go to an outside source and look for something different, I would definitely look for ECA Stack Plus. Like I said, for Oxandrolone, there's a lot better things out there that will do what it does without taxing the liver as hard. Okay, I know it's talked about as like the most, it's the least anabolic as far as side effect wise. But man, you start looking at liver functions and kidney functions after a period of time. If you stand it too long, it actually crystallizes in the kidneys. So you don't want that. You're going to cause some serious problems. And the liver, you only get one, right? So if you cause liver problems for too long and that liver's just done, you got to get somebody, as far as you got to get a donor to get a replacement of the liver. I mean, it's pretty serious, guys. Kidneys, now we have two of them, right? So you're thinking, all right, if one kidney goes bad, don't worry, I got the second one. Here's how it usually goes. If one kidney's bad in your body, usually it affects the other kidney and they're both in the same boat. And you usually have to go get a healthy kidney from a donor, and then somebody that, that will give you a kidney, or you have to become on a donor list. I've seen a lot of people go through this, and go through kidney disease. And it's not fun, guys. Dialysis is not fun. All that stuff is not fun. So what you do now, you will pay for later in one way or another. I promise you. So guys, be safe out there and really think about what your future entails. All right? Oh, man, there's so many comments on here. Rat Pack Worldwide in the house. My dude JR, Sean, and all of the Rat Pack family. So, dudes, I'll keep you documented, you guys. Definitely. Hulk Squad, I want to know what is going on. John True, my man. What up, Titan fam? All right, JD Ryan, how you doing? Quentin, Crazy E13. All right, so Dwayne Day said, hey, does the BPC 157 already come mixed, and what's the proper amount should I use? Okay, so good question. All right, so there's some different things, like the peptides that we offer. So AOD 9604 injectable, BPC 157, TB500, NAD, CJC with Imperellin. Those things are going to come lyophilized. And if you don't know what lyophilized means, it's freeze-dried, basically. It's a freeze-dried powder. So when you get your package from Titan Medical Center, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these videos here in the next week or two to show you guys, when you get your package, this is what comes with it, and this is what you should expect. So you guys can look at all the different therapies and be like, all right, well, if I get Hercules Potion, this is what I'm going to expect, or this is what I got to do. If I get HRT, this is what I got to do. But back to the comment. So it does come lyophilized, freeze-dried, and that will come with bacterial static water. So what you're going to do is when you get this medication and the bacterial static water, you'll get a drawing syringe. In that drawing syringe, and we have a video on this already of how to do this, you're going to pull up the amount of water on there, which is going to be 5 mLs. And it will say it on your directions, Dwayne. And for all your patients out there or people that want to become patients, you'll pull that right to the 5 ml mark, and you're going to put the needle in at an angle so that the needle is going towards the glass part on the vial. You'll dilute it as far as you'll push in the bacterial static water. At that point, you're going to swirl the vial in about 60 seconds to 90 seconds in a clockwise motion, which should mix the medication properly. After that, so dosages can differ. So make sure you look at the vial itself. It will have what you should pull down the syringe to, okay? Or you can even call or ask us. Now, excuse me, guys. I don't mean that. I apologize. Man, been a long day, but I'm still pumped. All right, so with that, when you want to take BPC 157 and TB 500, the dosages. Dosages can range. Now, it really depends on how wild you want to get. Now, usually we say from 250 micrograms to 500 micrograms daily. Now, this can go up. You really can turn it up. For me right now, I'm trying 3,000 micrograms per day. It's a lot, but I'm dealing with a serious injury that I really want to try to repair without surgery. So I'm putting this thing to the test. And I'm doing it for me, and I'm doing it for all the Titan patients out there. Because I had my MRI from beforehand, right? And if I run this course, I'm going to run it for at least 3 months. And I'm going to rehab my arm too as well in the gym. So I'm rehabbing my shoulder, doing the movements. I'm not going heavy, nothing crazy. But I am working out to gain lean muscle mass. So at that point, if I can prove it and I can show the new MRI and show repair in that issue, in that tear, that would be awesome and a game changer. And then I can talk about it with patients and be like, hey, listen, this could really kick it up. So let's see how it works as far as that goes. But it's usually 250 to 500 micrograms daily. All right, join my B-Day, learning more about Big Boss John. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. John Chu in the house. Happy birthday, man. Hope you heal fast. Yeah, for sure, brother. Yeah, man, it's crazy, right? All right, so DC Baker in the house. How you doing? Not my first injury or not my last. I'm just as intense in rehab. I know you are, Hulk Squad. You're crazy, boy. Pretty Greek girl, what's going on? All right. So, got it. Thanks. Good info. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. What's the ECA Stack Plus? Ephedra? So, JD Ryan, good question. ECA Stack Plus. It's prescribed by us, and that's the only way you can get real ephedrine HCl. So, that's the answer. It's ephedrine HCl. E, C is caffeine, A is aspirin, and for the plus is B12 and chromium. This is all in one capsule. It's prescribed. It comes from a U.S. licensed pharmacy. So there's no guessing, no garbage. All it is ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. So you can't get anything better. As far as different dosages, there are different dosages for different people because different people out there have different sensitivity levels to stimulants. I talk to people all the time. And if you take too high of a dose, right, it can cause, issues like anxiety or, just not feeling good. Like you shouldn't feel jittery or heart palpitations. It should be nice, clean, natural energy, right? The get up and go energy, but nothing crazy, right? Not like a pinball's bouncing around in you. You don't want that feeling, I promise you. That means that you're just taking too much. You're overstimulated at that point. All right, so Evo, what's going on? Ginger, Matt, Stacy, what's up? Monique, one of my favorite therapies, aside actual HRT therapy, for sure. All right, for sure. Man, I wish I had hair like that. What's going on, Antonio? All right, Jay Mills said, I need to get some potion. We got you. All right, M3D1C, just finished a massive cut. What do you recommend to help recovery during post-cut heavy lifts? All right, so Hercules Potion for sure. I think that's going to be great as far as recovery-wise. It's also going to help you with pumps and all that stuff. You do more strength activity the next day. I think that's a really, really good one. It just depends. Like you can do other different things. IGF-1's a good one. CJC 1295 and then Perellin's another good one. These are different therapies you can utilize for recovery, especially post-cut. They're going to help the body in a lot of different ways. So those are probably my recommendations. Probably the best things. All right, Jay Mills, best of the best. All right, awesome. You're welcome. All right, hey John, can you talk a little bit more in depth about IGF-1? All right. So, yeah, I can. DL Kadeski. All right, Kiel Kadeski. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. I apologize. All right, so IGF-1. So let's talk about it. Really, really cool. So insulin growth factor 1. All right. So what happens is this. A lot of people talk about growth hormone. Growth hormone is awesome. So growth hormone is naturally produced in your pituitary. Okay, your pituitary naturally produces growth hormone. And this helps with a number of different things. From when we're younger, right? Our bones, helping our bones grow, our body grow, cells grow, just everything, just growing, right? It's also good for skin elasticity, hair, libido, anti-aging portion functions, right? But over time, our IGF-1 levels lower. Our growth hormone doesn't produce as much, and that's why. So when we have growth hormone, it goes from our pituitary down into our liver. Remember we were talking about the liver? And in the liver, growth hormone converts. It converts into IGF-1, 2, and 3. Well, let's forget about 2 and 3. Let's really focus on 1, right? Because 1 really does promote the best benefits for you. So we talk about IGF-1. Now, IGF-1 can do a number of different things. It can help, like I said, sleep patterns, skin elasticity, libido effect, hair, skin, nails, mood enhancement. We want a good amount of growth hormone produced into IGF-1. So with IGF-1, we blood test this too. So if you were thinking about going IGF-1 therapy with us, first we run a blood test on you. We will see what your IGF-1 levels are. And on our regular male blood panel, we run it too, just to see where somebody's at, because it can affect what's going on with their body and where they want to get to goal-wise. So it does play an important role. So with IGF-1, we don't do growth hormone here because, one, it's really, really expensive. Two, the DA looks highly down on it, frowns upon it. They've actually taken doctors' licenses for it here in the state of Florida for prescribing it. It's just not good as far as that goes. But IGF-1 is a little bit different. And the way growth hormone works, if you were to get real growth hormone, like I said, you're going to inject it. It's going to go. Pituitary is going to stimulate growth hormone. At that point, it's going to go down the liver and it's going to produce IGF-1. Now think about this. Think about if you could inject straight IGF-1 and you're going from the starting line to the finish line just like that. That's how I can really describe growth hormone in layman terms. You're going from 1 to 2, that's it, done deal, instead of going 1, 2, and then 3. So you're skipping over a whole step and going straight to the finish line. And that's a benefit. Now, you have straight IGF-1 and you have IGF-1R3. The difference is halftime, halftime of life that it lives in the body or works in the body, okay? So IGF-1 is going to be real quick in and out. IGF-1R3, like we prescribe, stays in the body for a longer period of time, which will entail get you better results because it's in there longer working. Okay, so I hope that's helped as far as IGF-1. I try to explain it and not go crazy in depth on it. All right, so J Mill says I need to shed fat. So J Mill, listen, Hercules Potion, you know that, ECA Stack Plus, you combine those bad boys, you have one of the best pre-workouts there is. You can take ECA Stack Plus in the morning and then in the afternoon before your workouts. You're killing it, right? It should help with a number of different things from fat burning, focus, energy, so that's just one portion. And then Hercules Potion, you have recovery, you have muscle pump, liver protections in there, longer strenuous workouts with the ornithine. Proline for collagen as far as, lubricating some of those joint areas or maybe hurt injured areas. L-carnitine for weight loss, blood flow, a number of different things, brain function again. So those two combined are, like I said, those two are great. You have Titan Complete in there. That's a trifecta, right? That's the trifecta that has all three. Titan Complete, Hercules Potion, ECA Stack Plus, and it's discounted. But those two, if you need to take alone, ECA Stack Plus and Hercules Potion, they're going to do some good things for sure. Oh, it's all good, Big Irishman. We know you're passionate about it. It's all good. All right, so and we can't wait to meet you in real life for sure. Me and Drew were talking about the other day. It's going to be on. All right, anything else we got here as far as questions, comments? If you guys have any about HRT, any of the therapies that we do, please let us know. All right, IGF-1 and carbs before and after. So usually I use them before. So you want to do IGF-1 as far as carbs. They'll shuttle down there, glycogen. All right, so next question was, do you guys take insurance? So we don't take insurance. And unfortunately, the reason is because insurance doesn't cover most of our therapies that we offer. And let's say it's hormone replacement therapy, right? Or blood work. So people tell me all the time, well, some people get, hormones or testosterone covered through insurance, or I get blood testing covered through my insurance. Here's the thing. So insurance companies really restrict medical providers and what they can do for patients. And let me tell you how. Because, a lot of people don't see these things. I'm behind the scenes, so I'm going to give you guys the inside scoop. The real reason is because there needs to be a diagnosis code that goes with the blood test that they want to get done on you or the medications that they want to prescribe you. And that's so the insurance company can look it over and deem it fit, right? We think, yes, okay, this works. Or they'll be like, no, we don't think he needs this. We need another look or another diagnosis code along with it. So they kick it back. So with blood tests, I've seen blood tests where other places out there that want to do what we do have said, yeah, we can take insurance. And they send them over the lab requisition, and this person goes into the LabCorp request with that requisition and their insurance card. And they're like, oh, yeah, we take the insurance. Yeah, type it in, right? Then they run the tests on them. And then literally like a month later, this patient gets like a $1,500 bill. And like, what the hell is this? Like, I thought it was just covered in insurance and this and that. Like, well, we don't produce diagnosis codes, or these diagnosis codes don't work with what you're trying to do. Like, uh-oh. And you call the place that did it, like, sorry, womp, womp, womp. And that's the way it is. And now you're on the hook for that money. Instead of paying the $150, you're paying $1,500 as a guy. That sucks. Don't do that. And that's why we don't do it. The other thing is this. Even if it was hormone replacement, let's talk about testosterone replacement. And this could be for a male or female. But I'm just going to give an example of a male. So, if you blood test, or you have your medical provider blood test for you, and your testosterone, right? That's what they want a blood test, because they want to see, where your levels are at. You want to see. You're like, I don't feel good, my libido, concentration. Please, doc, run this. So they run it. And then your numbers come back. So the reference range, that means the normal range for a male on a LabCorp blood panel, is 264 to 916. So if you're 18 years old or 50 years old, it really doesn't matter. If you come back at 265, if you come back at 264, you're still within normal range. You're normal. It doesn't matter if you're on the bottom of the barrel, you're still normal. And no, they will not cover somebody that is normal for testosterone. It is what it is. And they won't prescribe it. Usually. If they do prescribe it, insurance companies, I'm telling you, they kick it back all the time. I see it. For females, it's the same way. You could be on the bottom of the barrel. That's not optimal. That's not where it should be, but it's at the bottom of the barrel and you're normal. So at that point, they're not going to cover it. It's not a necessity to live, right? It could definitely help quality of life if you have everything in harmonic balance and optimal. You're going to feel better. You're going to perform better. You're going to probably look better. But if it's not, you're not going to feel as good. You're not going to have as much energy. You're not probably going to look as good because, at that point, when you start going deficient in hormones, other things start happening. It's a domino effect. And that's where the aging process comes. And that's where the withering, like a flower. I give that example because I think that's the easiest one for me to think of. Think of a flower. It grows, right, from this little seed. It grows and grows and grows, and then it finally hits its peak. And at that point, it withers and it dies, okay? So that's kind of like our body. It grows, it grows, it grows. It hits its peak, and then it goes down the down slot. And then we start deteriorating and withering away. And that's when all the negative things come, like chronic disease or wrinkles or these different things. They find it, and that's kind of why, because hormones start, becoming non-existent or deficient. So that's just one thing you guys got to look at out there and make sure, if you guys are thinking you feel like this, you feel like, I don't feel like myself. I don't feel as motivated I used to. I don't find satisfaction in some of the activities I used to do, right? Like basketball or, if you like to go play pickup games, you just don't want to do it anymore. Like, I don't watch TV or whatever it is. You're tired all the time. You want to come home after work and sleep on the couch. You pass out. You guys should get checked out and just see what it is. There's nothing wrong with getting checked and seeing. I mean, that's the biggest thing out there. Like, check it out. We get everything else looked at. We get our cars looked at if there's something wrong, right? We get our computers looked at, our phones looked at if there's something wrong. We don't care about ourselves as much. I hate to say it, but a lot of people don't. They care more about what they're wearing, what they're driving, where they're going, more than what their body looks like or what's happening inside internally. That's a big one. It's like your temple. You're only blessed with one body, right? And a lot of people don't take care of it like they should. Now, that's either negligence or they're not educated. They're ignorant. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean not uneducated. That's why I said that. And they just don't know. They don't know the proper things to do or what's the best thing to do for them or what they could be missing or lacking. A lot of people don't have this knowledge. They're not educated in these things. That's where a lot of our patients come into play. And a lot of people watch videos or tune in like you guys. I love it. But that's what we're here to do. We want to help people get better in all these different ways, shapes, and forms. So I hope that helped. All right. When I start my BPC, what is your recommend dosage? Oh, man. Don't ask me because I'm going to say a pretty high dose. I'm just being honest. But I would start at 500 micrograms, and see if you're getting relief there. Go bump it up to 1,000 if you think you need to go there. Break it down like this, okay? The bottles or the therapy dosages that come in our BPC 157, I'm just using this as an example, is 15 milligrams. So at that point, like, you could do a milligram a day, and it's going to last for 15 days. That's 1,000 micrograms. 1,000 micrograms equals 1 milligram. So if you did something like that, it's going to last 15 days. If you did 500 micrograms, it's going to last 30 days. So it really depends on what you want to do and how crazy you want to get. You know what I'm saying? Hulk squat, because you could literally, man, you could go up to 3,000 micrograms a day, and you know those bottles are going to go quick. And that's the difference between us too. Like one or BPC 157, people ask about all the time. Like, you know, it's more than what I found online. Like at this research place, I'm like, well, this isn't research. It's coming from a U.S. licensed pharmacy. It's been tested for sterility, concentration tested. You know what you're getting, right? We know what you're getting, so that's a benefit. And it comes in 15 milligram doses. Most of the ones I see online that aren't regulated, right, or research and not for human consumption, usually come in 5 milligram doses. So you have to get 3 of those vials even to get up to one of our vials. So even if it was $50, let's say online, it's still going to cost you $150 to even get up to the dose. And you don't even know what you're getting at that point. So it's a Russian roulette. It's a roll of the dice. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Hopefully you guys got a good source if you go that route. All right, so let's talk about the next thing. Unless we've got another question. Let's talk about questions. I want to answer you guys' questions. All right, so thanks for making me a stud to make this happen. You're welcome, brother. All right, gonna be a dad.
That's what he means.
Dang, congratulations, Keith Titan. He is gonna be a dad. Dude, I know that feeling, man. You know, I've got one son, 11 years old, proud as hell to have him. You know, it's one of the biggest accomplishments and one of the best gifts you'll ever get in life. And, you know, like I tell my son, I'm like, you're my legacy. You're what I'm going to put everything into. You pour all your knowledge into, you know, as much time as you possibly can. You know, it's really special, you know. So congratulations on being a dad, whether you have a girl or a boy, it's a blessing either way. So congratulations on that. All right. Next one. Heading there in summer, bro. Calling it my Titan trip. First time ever out of New Mexico, and I'm heading over to Titan. Wow. So I can't wait to see it. Then Orlando. So that's going to be great. It's going to be awesome having you out here. I'll get some cool Titan gear for you, Mikey, and we'll get you hooked up, all right? We're definitely going to get some training sessions in for sure. Told my organs are failing, huh? The world can't get rid of me yet. Oh, man. Oh, man. All right, so let's go down, Art. Let's go down, down, down. I had some other ones on here. Go down, go down, go down. All right, trifecta is life. Was in the hospital for 8 days, came out and started therapy back up, and boom, I'm feeling great. So I'm sorry you were in the hospital, man. That sucks. But you came out, and you're starting to feel better with the therapies. Thank God for that, man. Thank God, you know, so you're out of there. It's always a good day. You know, when you're a kid, you really don't understand the hospital. You know, now when I understand the hospital, and not even talking about COVID, but just the hospital in general, man, I don't want to go there, man, because, you know, a lot of people I know, man, go to the hospital and they don't ever come out. So thank God you're out and you're healthy. All right. Anything else? Anything else? Should be caught up. All right, so let's get into one of my topics, because it's pretty cool and it goes right along what we're talking about.
15-minute warning.
All right, so I think we have enough time. So, threat to human survival and possible fertility crisis. Falling sperm counts. That's what we're talking about today. So this has been a really, really up-and-coming topic. And a lot of people really don't know this. I'd follow this all the time because of what we do here and being affected by COVID. So the biggest thing we've seen. So when Sharice got COVID, now before COVID, Sharice has PCOS, right? Polycystic syndrome, right? Polycystic ovarian syndrome. So basically what it means is you're on hyperdrive. You're producing. And testosterone is usually above average in range for females that have this, PCOS. So when they have this and they're ramped up and producing, their testosterone is real high. So Sharice has always had a naturally high testosterone level. Awesome testosterone level, like probably like 30 points above, right? So that's awesome. I mean, and you get the benefits from that too as well. So after COVID and before COVID, LH, so luteinizing hormone, and FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, we all blood test all these things. So these things were all active and running, hyperdrive. After COVID, shut down completely. Now, follicle stimulating hormone, FSH, and LH control production of hormones like that. testosterone in particular, because there's a signal that goes down from there, specifically LH, kicks on the testes for a male or ovaries for a female, and that's how your testosterone is made in us males and females. So at that point, hers is totally shut down completely. Now, I've been seeing this since the beginning, like in March, because China first came out with some of these different studies of infertility with people that had COVID, specifically in males too as well. That's who they were studying. And now they're starting to find females. Now, I really took that with a grain of salt when I started reading their literature from China, because we just don't know, and all the disinformation out there, so who knows what they were sending and what were not. But these studies I'm talking about were done by an epidemiologist here, right? Shauna Schwan, and at that point, here in the United States, and she was actually writing a book about this. So she's talking about the fertility crisis, and she's talking about human survival basically, and by 2045 is what she said, basically sperm counts would be at a zero, okay? With this, there were some actually good ones too. So she co-authored a study in 2017 that found that sperm counts in the West, which means the United States, had plummeted by 59% between the years of 1973 and 2011, making headlines globally for this, right? Now this is, 3 years before COVID? Yeah. 3 years before COVID, we're having fertility issues right away. And you guys might not know about it, and Keith, you're in a good boat, man. You're having a baby, so you're not infertile. But a lot of people, males and females, are dealing with infertility or fertility issues. And I know that because we help a lot of people with this, and there's more and more calling daily. It's crazy. Before, I don't think it was such an issue. It wasn't, and I'll give you the numbers for what the birth rates are, but we're actually 2.1% as an average below birth rates. So that's horrible. I mean, some different things that could be messing with this too is contraception, chemicals in the air, lifestyle. So our lifestyle, the way that we do our life and the way we treat our bodies. She also factored in different things like tobacco, smoking marijuana, obesity was another one, but mainly chemicals in the environment. So that was a big one, and I've been talking about this a lot. So there's chemical disrupting chemicals, chemicals that disrupt hormones in the body. You've got all these different things that we put on our body, chemicals, and we don't even think about, like deodorant, right? That's another one. I wear deodorant. Everybody wears deodorant, but these are disrupting hormones in the body too as well. And this could lead to infertility issues. So at that point, we got to make sure that we're on track here. I always thought that our birth rate was going to be good until I really started reading these studies. They came out with COVID. And then before that, there was some studies on infertility and stuff. You're going to get that, though. You're going to get some people that are infertile and not. But now the levels are going drastically high and scary levels. And at that point, we need to have, there was, for endangered species, there's 5 different things that categorize them as that. And as us humans right now, we're hitting 3 of them. So it's pretty crazy. It's something to look out for. And if you caught COVID, test your hormones. Just see where they're at. If you haven't caught COVID, test your hormones, see where they're at. At least you have a baseline, right? And you know where it was at one time. And then, from, a year goes on, 2 years, you can retest it. Or if you happen to catch COVID, after COVID, retest, see where they're at. But I'm telling you, a lot of people, complete shutdown of hormones. So it's really crazy out there. So make sure you guys are keeping that in the back of your head. And you guys, if you guys want to have kids in the future, it's very important. All right? If you guys are thinking about it and need help, Titan Medical Center is here for you. We'll help you. All right. Any other ones? All right. So how much does your HCG therapy cost? All right. Tusa 17. So, or Ange, excuse me. Ange Tusa 17. So HCG we usually do 11,000 IU as far as dosage. That comes in a Lifelines freeze dried. And that therapy is usually $150. That can usually last probably by 32 days if you're running an HCG diet or add back therapy. You can run it a lot longer as far as that goes. So that's another big therapy that a lot of people are taking advantage of, and that actually helps with fertility issues too as well. There's a lot of different benefits that HCG does cover. All right, take care, time fan. All right, man, have a good one. All right, does Hercules Potion give you energy like pre-workout? So Mark Marley, no. So that's a good question. So a Hercules Potion, you can take it as like before workouts, so pre-workout like that, but it doesn't have any stimulants in it. Okay, so it's not going to give you a big kick of energy. Now, when you're working your sets, like you'll get going, you'll be able to do more, longer, intense reps and sets. Yes, but if you're looking for the stimulant, the energy factor, ECA Stack Plus. You take the ECA Stack Plus with Hercules Potion, you got a combination that's going to be out of this world. It'll be the best pre-workout that you ever take. That's going to be the cleanest and healthiest for you. For sure, 100%. And you're going to know exactly what you're getting every time. All right, so I'm not a tinfoil hat type of guy, but I swear that COVID is a man-made and designed. Yeah, to thin the human herd, and now having some of these studies, I wouldn't put it past the government past using the vaccine for population control. So DMK. So I'm not a tinfoil guy either. I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. Do I think that COVID was man-made? Possibly. In the lab, listen, biological warfare is real. These other countries are working on different things, and we don't know what's going on. And I'm sure, when we start looking at other superpowers, like Russia or like China, they're obviously developing different weapons of different things that we don't really know. Maybe we do, but the general population, General Joes like me or Johns, don't know. And at that point, it could definitely be made to do that. It's obviously thinned out a lot of people. And the thing about COVID is this. It's really crazy.
Fertility damage.
Fertility damage is one, right? The other thing is you don't know how it's going to affect one person to the next. Unless they designed it that way, or they have something where, it only hits people with specific genes or conditions or whatever it is. Because like I said, Charisse, ICU, me, totally asymptomatic. So, same household, I guarantee you, same strain, the whole nine. We caught it back in June. So at that point, it's just crazy. So I do believe there's crazy stuff out there. Now, the vaccine, if you need the vaccine, you think you need the vaccine, go take the vaccine. If you're high risk and you ain't caught COVID yet and you think you need the vaccine, go get the vaccine. I would never tell anybody not to get the vaccine. I'm not that type of person. My thoughts on the vaccine are this, especially with me or Charisse, right? We've already caught COVID. Whether I'm asymptomatic or I'm in the ICU, if you recover from COVID, that means you fought it off naturally. Your body has naturally beat out this virus. That means it's going to have antibodies for a time period. After that, this is what everybody is starting to forget, but if you look at the science and what they're talking about, this is where it really, the key to this really is. It's T cells. So we know that T cells are the key, and T cells recognize these different cells in the body, like viruses or bacteria, and they attack. They attack bad cells in the body and eradicate and replace with good cells. So that's the big thing. So for people like me, and this is another thing. So they haven't even done studies on the vaccine for people that have gotten over COVID. They don't know how it's going to affect or how it's going to protect or what is. That's to me the biggest thing I don't like. I understand that we need to develop something very quickly to combat the virus, right? To combat COVID. But with that, did we shortcut anything? Are there enough studies out there on a general population or different people? Because I just read a new study today that came out, and it was about the COVID-19, the Pfizer vaccine, not being as effective on people that are obese. That means if you are over a 30 in your BMI, and that's a lot of the population, guys, that vaccine is supposed to be not as effective for those people. And since it's not as effective, you might need an extra dose or a higher dose of the vaccine to be effective like it should. That's kind of scary. So you already got to take 2. Let's talk about Pfizer's vaccine. 2 doses, right? 2, just to be up to date. Now, these new strains like the African virus or the the South African strain, Brazilian strain, the UK strain. They're saying that these aren't going to work on those strains. And at that point, you're going to need a booster shot. So that's three shots for Pfizer or Moderna. Now, the Johnson & Johnson one, they're saying one shot, more effective, and can work against these different strains too. So, listen, if I had to pick one of the vaccines to take, it would probably be the Johnson & Johnson one. Just from the different literature I've read on them and how it's developed and what it was made of and how it protects you against the different strains out there, that'd probably be my pick. But do I ever want to take that vaccine? Hell no. Just being honest with you guys. And like I said, I don't ever push people off from getting the vaccine. If you think you need it, you think it might help, you think it's going to protect you, you're high risk, like that. Like my dad needs it. He's going to go get it. Like, go get it. I don't want to hold anybody back or tell anybody that. That's wrong. But you can have your personal opinion about it. And if you want to take it or not, I think that should be up to a choice. But the next thing that I'm seeing going, and they're already starting this, guys, is the immunity passport. So it's to show that you have the vaccine, and that's thank you, that you can travel or not. All right. You're welcome, Ange. No problem.
So many good questions too.
All right. Can I take a quarter of an anastrozole per day instead of half every other day? I'm a new patient with you. Just started last week. All right. So DL. So good question. All right. So the reason is you don't want to take the quarter per day. The reason for that is it might knock down your estrogen too low. We don't want to knock that estrogen too low. We don't want to knock it we don't want it too high, and we don't want it too low. We want it to be right in the middle. So with that, and I don't know your dose and everything like that. So please, if you need to check in with the medical staff, you can call or text. But literally follow directions. Take a half every other day. Now, if you think that you're having some issues or you're not feeling, optimal still like that, we might need to just dial it in and blood test estradiol ranges and maybe for your total testosterone. I don't know what your regimen is. I'm just going kind of what I see. But at that point, yeah, that's what you're going to want to do. Follow the instructions, how they prescribed it. If everything's going great, awesome. If you think that some things can be improved or some things are off, please call or text us here. We'll take care of you. We'll walk you through it, triage you. If we need to run you some, 2 different blood tests, it'll be very inexpensive to do. We can see it, and then we can dial back from there because that'll tell us exactly where we need to be or exactly where you're at. At that point, we can dial you in. My voters are John T to replace face mask Fauci. That's right, man. I mean, honestly, man, I'll go back into this. I really don't want to spend too much time, but we only got a couple minutes anyway. So listen, the CDC, Fauci, all this different stuff out there, they just can't get their story straight, and it's disheartening. It sucks. It makes for mistrust out there or distrust with the population from the beginning of, listen, don't wear masks, masks don't work. And now, hey, Fauci's saying wear 2, wear 3 masks, right? Come on, man. CDC guidelines, all the guidelines are all over the place. It's always changing, everly changing. It's like this one day, like this the other day. Who can keep up with that? It's really, really hard. Now, I totally understand this is a virus that we've never dealt with before, a lot of unknowns, but we shouldn't be just pushing out information if we really don't know that it's a fact. Especially medical, that's rule of thumb. If it's a fact, talk about it. If it's not a fact, you shouldn't really be bringing it up too much because at that point, people take it in oh, that's a fact. Especially if Fauci or the CDC, before all this started, if you said the CDC said something, we'd follow it to a T. Total, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. That's what it is. So it's just really crazy out there. All right. Hey, I was a patient 5 years ago, and I gained a ton of weight because of just life and depression. I need to get back in life and become a patient again. Ange, call us up. We'll take care of you. I promise you. All right. Do you guys have any therapies for weight loss that will not increase heart rate due to yes. So Prometheus. Prometheus therapy is a new one. That's going to go great, and you can use it with ACG, and it'll probably work really, really well. And it won't increase